Hello everybody, welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight 44, aka Sect 44. And today we're playing some more Lord of the Rings The Third Age, and we're just about to go and get us another party member. Now, so far, we're actually in Eregion. We have a Gondorian, for some reason. We have an elf. What else could we probably go and get in this area? We're definitely not going to be getting anybody from Rohan. Probably not going to be getting a dwarf. What else can we probably get here? Party member wise.
A man, badly wounded.
Wait for the wargs to approach.
They'll kill him. Hold on!
Hello, lovelies.
You live?
No thanks to you. Can't you see I was hunting them? You want to use the crows. Lure the wargs in close. They kill faster that way.
You were of the Dunedain.
At your service, lady. You meant to help me, so perhaps you may.
Perhaps you should finish off the rest of the pack first.
Now we're going to be getting ourselves a ranger, and he's actually he's another cool character, another pretty good character. There's just a couple of things that are wrong with him in the very beginning of the game. Elegost is one of those characters that is quite honestly pretty much the opposite of Idriel, in which Idriel is a really good character at the very beginning of the game, and is a very good character throughout the rest of the game, though she isn't as much of a crutch character later on the game. Elegost starts out with problems. However, by the very end of the game, especially getting close to the end of the game, especially in Osgiliath, he can actually do, especially this one move, that can completely, especially if you have a good bow, will completely destroy your entire, just all of your enemy forces. So Elegost is not all that very useful right now. Mainly because of a couple of different reasons, but let's just go and use our basic moves here. Now he has Creature Bane and Bowcraft, and Rangercraft he has Aim Shot. They're both really expensive. Elegost doesn't have all that much AP. One of the reasons why I'm using Idriel with Fluid Strike and not Loud Water Fury is because while I still have very little AP, I'm trying to go and gain as much SP as I possibly can. Can't really do that with Elegost. He does have... I'm going to have to go and look to see which actual which skill tree will actually go and give him a pretty cheap move. The first one that actually does so, I'm probably going to be going and using quite a bit. Oh, my friend on Steam is pretty much trying to go and tell me how to go and write my story. And I kind of already told you in my semi-little rant on fanfiction how I just don't like how I don't like other people writing in my world. And not to say anything about fanfic writers, but that just gets to me. And he's trying to tell me all these things, and especially when I've already gone like 5-6 years going through history, every characters throughout a couple of millennia, the actual story, I can't change anything on a dime. I really can't. Let's go and put that over there. Oh, definitely putting all of that into Spirit. But let's go and... I'll go and tell you about some of the skills that Elegost actually has. First of all, let's go to Barathor and see if we can change his skills around. Citadel Rage will actually be pretty good Out of all the next ones, I'm going to be going Citadel Rage. Just because being able to attack twice. It's not so much a move I'm going to be using all that often. Just because it's actually pretty, really, really AP intensive. It costs way too much AP to use, but it will actually, if I need a way out of a tough situation, Citadel Rage will actually be quite useful. Counterattack already is going to be quite useful, but let's move on to Idriel. She got, oh, the Weakening Slash. Should I get Wounding Strike or Stunning Strike? Let's go with Elven Rage. Then I'm going to go to Stunning Strike and then Wounding Strike. I don't really think I'm going to be using too much. To be honest, after Elven Rage, maybe even Wounding Strike. I doubt I'm actually going to be getting any of these. Now, let's go to Elegost. Already, I'm going to be going through Ranger Craft. Oh, hell yes, I'm going to be going through Ranger Craft. Bowcraft is actually pretty good. Creature Bane, doing more damage against stuff like wargs and stuff. Arrow Flurry will actually attack 2 different targets. Blinding Shot will go in, accuracy. Draining Shot is amazing, and we're going to be using it quite a bit. Crippling Shot is pretty good. Pinning Shot's actually really good. Shield Piercing is another one of those. It's pretty good. True Shot is pretty much I've actually gotten before. It's really powerful, and it's one of those last moves that are just really, really good, but the Ranger Craft, I have never gotten down to Northern Storm. I've seen it in Evil Mode, but I've never actually got down to it. It's not actually more of a spirit type attack, which, to be honest, he doesn't really have any other spirit attacks, I believe, except for Northern Storm. And because I believe there's only 3 different elf stones of spirit enhancement in the game, and I give them to the 3 actual characters that really do use a lot more spirit power. So Elegost and Northern Storm, not really going to happen. Though doing heavy damage over time is quite very good. There are some powers that, even though they don't do a lot of damage, they would do a shitload of damage over time. And while I'm not talking about like a couple hundred, when you're doing like thousands of damage, an actual like with every single attack, it's gonna do thousands of damage. While you're also doing thousands of damage, and it's going to attack every single turn to all foes, so it's actually pretty good. But we're going to want to go down Piercing Might, Piercing Will, and Arrows of Sleep. Arrows of Sleep sounds kind of stupid, but it's actually Arrows of Sleep and not Arrow of Sleep. Thing about it is, you'll actually get a passive skill that will turn Arrows of Sleep from a 1-hit attack to an all-hit attack, which will attack everybody for pretty cheap, and it will put them to sleep if they're not actually immune to it. With a really good bow, you'll fuck up orcs later on like nobody's business. Not to mention, he also gets King's Foil of Grace, and for the most part, I don't really use any of the other ones, but he can actually go and do like Arrow Splinter, or I believe Flash Arrow. No, not Flash Arrow. There was another one, Cursed Arrow, which will basically, this one will stop enemies from being able to actually go and doing ranged attacks, and this will stop them from being able to actually attack. Like, actually, one of them will stop them from being able to do ranged attacks, and another one will actually be able to stop them from actually doing physical attacks. Don't really remember which one, but he'll also get his own set of passive skills too. Elegost is really, really good once you get Sleep Volley. Oh, Sleep Volley makes arrows effect attack all enemies. That's going to be very, very useful. Okay. Let's go and see if we have any more equipment. No. Then we're going to have to go into the next fight. Okay, let's see. I could just... I'm going to go with my regular attacks. Elegost really is going to be able to do a damn thing here. Other thing about Elegost, while he's not actually going to have the weakest armor, before the end of the game. He's actually going to be somewhere in the middle. But his armor in the very beginning of the game is definitely going to be below all of 4 of our regular characters in the very beginning. Okay, if we do examine, we'll learn how much health the warg has, how much AP the warg has, and everything. It's weak, it's fragile against pierce, and it's strong against blunt. That's all we really have to know. No immunities, good. And the thing about it is, for the most part, examine will almost always, you can probably hear the motorcycles in the background, but the examine will almost always go, and what was it called? And once you actually use it, will give you an extra turn. So it's not like you're wasting a turn to actually go and see what your enemy's like, which is actually pretty nice. How long has this been going on for? Only 11 minutes. Now let's see. 1 of 3 warg packs destroyed. There is a chest. And though the glare on my TV isn't as bad now, it's still pretty bad. If we actually go over here, though, we'll be out in this open area like we were before, except now there's we're at the top of it. There's still 2 more. Oh yeah. Oh, another forced encounter. There's gonna be tons of those. And again, I'm not going to be going and, you know, not showing any of them because they're technically part of the game. And also, if I don't actually do this, well, I'm just going to say that I'm not actually going to go and have a long game in my hands. This is actually a pretty short game because this is all you're really doing. It's just battle after battle. Now, I could probably kill one of these off if I actually did Loudwater Fury, but we're going to have to do Gift of Elrond on Elegost. He needs the help so badly. It's the fact that he doesn't actually have any AP and I'm trying to save my items at. This is, I probably should have went back for a nice little heal up. But I thought this should level me up. Damn, those guys are actually pretty tough. Maybe I should just go and do Company Might. Well, I probably should have done Company Might. Now I will definitely go and do Company Might. Leadership, this should give me Company Valor too. And that will basically go and set me right off onto stun, stun resistant one, which was a, what was it called? Stand Fast. And I'm going to say it again. If you have to go in, once you actually go and face off against that fight, you're going to realize that's going to be the power you're going to want to do immediately. It's a horrible, absolutely horrible fight when they're just stunning you. Turn after turn, but that's what you can do to the enemy. Some of the early enemies, you can actually stun them, or just, because it's stunning and it's crippling. Stunning basically doesn't do anything to the initiative, it just doesn't make them actually be able to attack. Crippling will actually go and screw up with their initiative. There's 2 different things, and not to mention, because it's technically 2 different effects, some enemies can't be crippled. They're immune to it, but they can be stunned. Some that can not be stunned can be crippled. Now, since Spirit's at 30 now, I'm just going to be going with everything else. Mainly, yeah, let's just go with Strength. I'm not really going to need the health just yet. I basically like to go, and after I have a good amount of AP, I will, like, Strength at 16 here, and consistent, or whatever it is. But Strength 16 and 13, I'll go and put those at 20. I like having all of my stats for the most part, at the same level, or not necessarily like the same amount, but I don't like having one at like 16 and everything else at 30. I like having them all at least at 20, and then put my favorites to the next, what was it, to like 30 and beyond, and then go put everything else to catch up. But the thing about it, you will get stats for your characters while you're just leveling up. And they will generally go for the stats that are best suited for that character. So, if you don't really have to go and play, favorites for the actual stats with your extra little points just because, well, the game's going to help you do that for you. So, it's not really going to matter. However, we're actually going to want to go back a little bit just to make sure that... no, I know I missed a warg. But I believe it was just here that the warg's going to be. Yep, right there. As soon as you get close to a chest, just some chests are just, for a fact that they're going to be gone. Aim shot. Going to have to do this 4 more times to actually go and get the... What was it called? Pierce Might, I believe. The big thing about Pierce Might is it basically takes him from 40 AP move or 50 AP move to a 25 AP move. And again, SP is completely one of the things you have to prioritize in this game, or you're kind of going to be screwed. Because random battles aren't all that frequent. Though I never knew that you could just stay still and wait for a random battle to actually happen. So I've technically went through this game and I could have easily went and just allowed my random battles to come at me. Damn, this game's actually easier than I remember it to be. Really? I remembered this game being a bit hard because I never knew that. I mean, let's just sit here for a little while. Let's see if the Eye of Sauron actually comes. I'm not close to any... I don't believe I'm close to anything else. Actually, no way. I think I might be too close to
Brings
this.
you to this place, Ranger.
I would tell you, but first we must make our way to one of the elves' healing altars.
Yeah. I went and silenced my mic for that. But after if you're too close to a cutscene, to the end of an area, the random battles won't actually occur. Oh, yeah. We're going to be getting into the scene up here. More equipment. I really wasn't the explorative type in the Eregion area in my first playthrough. Good. I almost allowed that scene to play. I was going to go and take a drink. I've been waiting to actually go and take a drink, you stupid ass game. Gonna save it right here. The again, I'm probably going to be going and putting all the scenes together a little bit later. And for the most part, it's just going to be me going and no, I'm gonna be going here and go put it there for more health. Oh yeah, I actually haven't put this on you. No, you can also get this. Rings really don't do much, but give you more, more stats and all. Doesn't really do much to your actual armor. I mean, look at Elegost's armor, 24, and Idrila had 63. That's gonna happen quite a bit. Just remember, random battles generally have weak enemies in them. So, not all that really difficult. You're never going to come across an actual enemy that can cut you up like a forced battle would actually have. To be honest, I probably could just wait here and go and see if I can get Pierce Will. But I'm not going to be doing that. It's just that you don't really want to level up too much, because if you leveling up after pretty much every other battle allows you to almost always have full AP. But if you level up too much, you're never actually really going to be able to go and and recover your AP so quickly, which is a bad thing. Go save. Once again, I just want to get my AP back. But actually, we're coming up to an area when it's going to be a new type of battle. I believe it's going to be a new type of battle. And the fact that it's one of those battles where enemies can't actually be killed by Barathor because you can't reach them, because melee attacks just won't work on that type of enemy, or where the enemy is in that position. Yep, right here. What is this? There's an actual orc archer right up here. You can only hit him with ranged attack. That means ranged attacks. That means Elegost and Idriel. Sure, that was a good shot. Now let's actually, because I'm going to be saving pretty much right next. I'm so close to one. I might as well just go all out. These guys are weak to begin with. Orcbane should take it right out. Yep. This is what happens in this game, which is another reason why I like this game. You do come across all of the enemies when you get to a new area are really strong. Then you start fighting them, you start getting better equipment, and then you start completely destroying them like they were trying to do to you earlier. And I really do like games in which I find myself growing stronger all the time. In which games like Tools of Destruction, for instance, just absolutely suck the life out of me, because I don't feel as if I'm actually getting stronger sometimes. Just because I know I'm supposed to be getting better armor. I'm supposed to be getting more health. But it feels, even when I'm on top of everything, on top of getting more health, on top of actually going and getting, well, the better armor, the best armor I can have at that moment, it feels that every single new area I go to, I die in less hits. I don't feel like I'm getting stronger. I feel like I'm just getting weaker, and the enemies are growing exponentially, and I'm just growing at a linear pace. Okay, where? Up here. Oh yeah, I can go up here. Again, this game is actually kind of dark in places like that, especially with the glare, though the glare is actually kind of settling down at this point. Can't go back. Oh well. Go down here. And another forced encounter. However, just about to go and see another actual part of the game. Another new good little thing about this game. And which is actually something called an elf stone. Elf stones are really good in that they actually go and basically just give you certain effects. Good. Pierce might, finally. But they actually give you little effects, like they might raise your defense, raise your resistances. They might go and they might give you new types of skills. They might actually go and do quite a lot, actually.
What are you doing?
You want to be sure they're good and dead. Some are mighty hard to kill.
Not even these sacred places are safe.
How do I know I can trust this one?
I vouch for him. In the name of the Lady of the Galadrim.
That is good enough for me.
And how do I know I can trust you? Where did you get those wounds?
At the hands of a Mordor orc, whose life I intend to shorten considerably. In the pass of Gahadras, we were attacked by goblins. We slew all but the orc, who escaped with something of great value to me.
Who is this wee ranger?
I was in the company of a dwarf. A friend, actually.
And what did this orc take from you?
You helped me slay him, and you shall find out.
You rangers from the north are full of riddles. And who are you to speak for a ruler of elves?
You must help me return to Lothlorien and warn the Lady Galadriel of these dangers. Then you will know all.
We should find one of the enemy's altars. After what I did to him, that orc would be in need of healing himself.
Come, Gondorian. We shall attend to my matters in due course.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be... I'm going to stop having Barithor in front. And I'm going to be moving down to Elegost just because there are a couple of different characters I actually like having in front. The only character I would say don't actually have in front all too much is the dwarf that we're actually going to be getting pretty soon, actually. And the fact that all of their running speeds are generally the same, except for the dwarf, which you would expect, which will actually make going into random battles a bit more frequent. Come up here, and we can actually get elf stones. Though it's only going to be cracked elf stones at the moment. You definitely need more AP. But okay, let's see. This will actually go and up your armor. Barely, but it'll actually do so. Cracked Elf Stone of Action Enhancement. Okay, let's go and put that on Idria. Now, this will give her basically a little bit more AP. There's a Cracked Elf Stone. I believe there's like a regular Elf Stone that might be a polished one. I don't necessarily know if there's actually a middle ground, but I know there's a cracked one, there's polished one, and there might be ones in the middle. There's one elf stone in the game that I know for a fact actually goes and respawns if you actually save, and like if you actually save and then come back, reload, and just collect it again. And it's the polished elf stone of armor enhancement, which, trust me, is fucking needed for some of the characters at that point.
So tell us, Ranger, what happened back there in the pass?
It was a bewitched fight, voices echoing down from the mountains. Then lightning struck all around us. The dwarf fought like one possessed, but a landslide carried him away. Before he fell, he gave me a map, presented to him by Elrond of Rivendell as a gift of friendship. But I could not withstand the dark powers that ruled the mountain that night. While I lay there burning, that Mordor orc ripped the map away and fled down the mountain. That map revealed the location of the secret entrance to a forgotten realm.
Moria.
Yes, the greatest city of the dwarves, whose location was lost during the Great Wars. And whose halls are rumored to still be stalked by a terrible monster.
And what of the dwarf?
If that map leads us to Moria's hidden gate, I expect we shall find him nearby. It will take more than a few goblins to stop that dwarf.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Seems like we're actually going to be getting the dwarf pretty soon. Now we're actually in this like mountainous area. We're actually going back to the nice little what was it called? Forest situation now. Pretty cool. I'm just going to end it here, though. See ya, everybody.